Welcome to a little sneaky bonus edition of Get Shirty. So this edition, or episode rather, I suppose, is the very first episode we recorded. It's the pilot episode. So before we even thought about doing the podcast or actually booked in any recordings, what we did is we sort of tried out the format beforehand, and that was with myself and Stuart Wilson, who's the most recent guest. He's the editor and producer as well of the podcast. So we just thought, well, let's give it a try, and why not sort of play it out for you guys? So this is where it all started. This is the Get Shirty podcast pilot edition. Off we go. You'll find there's an intro and everything on there, so you don't need me to do it again. Let's see what you think. Welcome to Get Shirty, the podcast where we ask our guests about the things in life that just never fail to irritate and get them all shirty. The chat focuses on home, work and going out, but could go anywhere. And it's not all doom and gloom, as each guest gets a made-to-measure shirt which they design, so we talk about that too. Funny that, us being tailors. Today, we'll be getting shirty with Stuart Wilson, somebody who I've known for a long time and have had the pleasure of working with for the last 5 or 6 years. Let's get shirty with Stuart Wilson. So, welcome, Mr. Wilson.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
That's my absolute pleasure. So, so shirts. So we've measured you for a shirt. We've picked some cloth. So what did you go for the cloth and that you've chosen? Is there a particular reason? Why are we making you this shirt? Feel free to, if you haven't got, feel free
to make something up.
Feel free to make something up. Yeah, that'd be great.
I wasn't expecting that question straight away.
I don't know what question means.
I don't know.
Look, let's go back then.
Yeah,
That's fine. Because ultimately, it might go like this anyway. How are you today?
Good.
Mr.
I'm
Wilson?
cold. It's cold today. It's very cold. My car was frozen this morning. Couldn't get in.
You couldn't get in?
I couldn't get my door open. Now my door lock's knackered. So
you got some work to do.
I've got some work to do with the car. But it's so cold. So cold this morning. All the doors were frozen solid. Like a little ice cube it was. A little fly in an ice cube.
It was. What was it?
My car looked like a little fly
Your car.
in an ice cube.
Wow. Ice cube
chip it
fly
out.
car.
Yeah.
Well, hey.
And I say fly because that takes you back to the days of jokes. Remember the
Yeah,
flies
I do.
in the ice cube? Yeah.
They were my mum's mum used to get those for when she was having a party.
Yeah.
She put them in the punch. So I'm told.
Yeah. I used to love all those old magic stuff.
Yeah.
Tricky stuff. You get in the back, it was all magazines in the back. Sneezing powder, stuff like that. Itching powder.
Itching powder.
Is it itching powder just pepper or something?
No, it did have something else in there. But either way, I don't expect you'd be allowed to sell it now.
Yeah, it's probably dangerous.
Yeah. I used to like those
Asbestos or
stink
something
bombs.
like
You
that.
can't get stink bombs anymore.
Oh, stink bomb.
It's
Why
like
can't you
stink
get
bomb.
stink bombs?
I don't know. Well, they were actually little glass
Vials of
little
hydrochloric
glass
acid, I
vials.
think. It is.
It was very eggy.
Yeah, well, we did the experiment at school. It was hydrochloric acid, and you used to have to do the old. You couldn't. Don't. Whatever you do, don't go. So obviously they all did. Went. Oh, I burnt my nose. You had to go.
Yeah, a little sniff. We never got that deep into it.
Chemistry.
They looked like a little wine bottle though. They had a skinnier top than the bottom. So your car was like a little fly in an ice cube.
Yeah, which I had to chip it out.
In which you had to chip it out, but now you're here.
Now I'm here. Cool.
Now you're here, and
Need a shirt.
Yeah, well, so we've looked at some cloths.
Yep.
And we had a little chat around what your requirements were, and from that point of view, are there ever any frustrations for you when you're buying clothes or buying? Part of what you're here for today is to talk about things that get on your nerves, but that's why it's called Get Shirty.
Yep.
See what we did there?
Very good. Yeah, very good.
So
Strange women tearing bits of cloth out of a book.
Yeah,
that's quite annoying.
Yeah, well, we provide that lady comes along every time we do a podcast specifically just to make ripping noises in the background. Makes us look weird or cool or something. Right. So, in terms of things that sort of make you cross when you're buying clothes, is there anything in particular? I mean, we're doing a shirt for you, so
clothes. It's the lack of customization. I think this day and age, they don't offer, although they offer lots of shirts, they always seem to be the same shirts.
Yeah,
really, there's not a lot of choice, although it looks like there's a lot of choice. And I think it's the same with a lot of things, actually. Even large supermarkets, they look like the shelves are full, but when you delve into it, it's a lot of the same thing.
Right. So for you, when you're trying to find, so it's choice. That's essentially what you're saying.
Choice of shirt, yeah.
It's so having a tailored shirt is giving you the ability to choose something that you want rather than
be forced.
Just taking what you're offered.
Yeah, it's that customisation of different things.
Okay. So what sort of customisations are you wanting us to put on the shirt for you?
Well, I like the idea of a little bit of embroidery, somewhere either on the cuff or the pocket occasionally, and not all the time. But I like the idea of that, and I like the idea of mixing and matching different insides. So having maybe the collar inside a different colour, or the cuffs, or something like that.
Yeah.
Maybe even different buttons every so often. It's just nice to have that option, because when you buy a shirt, generally the buttons are all that white colour, or there might be the colour of the shirt, the blue colour, but you can't really pick.
Yeah.
It's having that personality.
Right, so it's really, and that's really what tailoring is all about. Not just shirts, all of it really. I mean, yes, it's a suit or a jacket or trousers or a shirt, but it's your shirt, your way. So if you want embroidery, we can do it. If you want in different things on the inside of the cuff or the inside of the collar, we can do that for you. And so we've looked at a few cloths today. You've picked a very nice white shirt with a nice pink contrast with, whatever it is, I suppose.
I've got an event coming up, and rather than wear one of my work shirts, I thought I'd get a special going out shirt.
Okay.
As it were. And the only going out shirt I've got at the moment is my silk shirt. I used to buy a red silk shirt.
It is super shiny.
It is the shiniest material known to man.
It is very, it's like Teflon.
Yes,
that's slippy.
And that was my dancing shirt. That was always my disco dancing shirt.
All right, so is it a shirt that's been with you a long time?
Yeah.
How long?
Oh, too long. Well, if I tell you which shop it's from, that'll tell you how long it is.
All right.
It's on River Island.
Wow. Okay. So, that's got to put it 10 years ago at least.
More than that.
Is it?
Yeah, I had an early dance with my wife before she was my wife.
Right.
At Southside Club in Clapham. So that's 25 years more plus.
Well,
and it's come back into fashion now.
Right.
So that's good. And that's sort of how I work.
I think on the other, look, we'll delve more into this shirt in a minute. So, but it's served you well though. Right shirt for the right purpose.
Yeah, and
I've seen you gigging it.
Yeah, I just love it because it's funky.
Yeah,
it's a funky silk red shirt, and it feels nice on.
It's your going out.
My going out. It's my Mickey Flanagan out shirt. Really,
it's your out shirt.
Yeah, it is really.
Right. So really, what we're looking to do is make you another out shirt.
Yeah, but maybe something a little bit more tasteful.
All right, so a considered out shirt.
Considered.
All right, well, yeah, but something that's you.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, good.
I get looked at for the right reasons.
All right. Yeah. So, yeah. So if we put like a little, as you said, some embroidery.
Yeah.
What we're going for your initials?
Yes.
Okay.
I think so.
On the cuff.
On the cuff. I like it on the cuff.
It's a nice place to put it. Yeah. That way they only get seen if you want them seen. Are we doing a double cuff, single cuff?
Well, I do like a double cuff, but I also like the idea of those convertible cuffs. I think I've seen somewhere that you can get these cuffs that you can use cufflinks and buttons.
Yeah, we can do those for you.
I think I might go for that.
Okay, so a nice out shirt. And is there a particular event that we're doing this for? Or it's,
Yes, it's a friend's birthday party. They got a 50th birthday party coming up.
Excellent.
I don't know where work shirt, so get a nice tailored shirt.
And has it got to go with a particular jacket or anything?
I haven't thought about it. Maybe I'll look into a suit as well.
Nice.
Maybe
I won't stop you doing that.
Yeah, maybe I'll buy a suit to go with the shirt.
I like it. Okay, well we can talk about that after. But that's good. Yeah, by all means, we'll sort that for you. So, shirt. We know what we're doing. We know why we're doing it, and sort of what's been irritating in the past about that. So that's your shirt. I think tick. We'll consider that covered. So now let's sort of get into the nitty gritty of things, and let's have the first thing that gets you hot under the collar.
Hey,
see what I did there?
Is it all going to be shirt puns all the way through?
If I can think of lots.
Excellent.
Feel free to join in at any point.
Maybe have one at the tail end of the podcast.
Oh, hey, not bad. You really collared me with that one. So, we could get a little drunk, couldn't we? So, let's talk work. Let's talk work, and just one thing about work, any past or present, that's irritating, that gets under your skin.
Oh, that's a big one, isn't it? Work.
Right. Yeah. I mean, is the lady who rips the cloth?
Because she's lovely in other ways.
Yeah.
And she provides eye candy.
That's very true.
Yeah.
The eye candy.
If the candy is licorice, which I hate.
So rude.
So what is the, well, most jobs, let's go with most jobs, because I think that's a fair assessment of what most employed jobs. I think I'm no different to anybody else. The most irritating thing is management, I suppose. It's people getting promoted way beyond their capability.
Right. So that
seems to be a common thread of most corporate businesses, I think, where promotion or job status becomes a rite of passage rather than ability driven, as it were.
Yeah.
People that might want to stay in a position aren't given that opportunity, because if they want to earn more money, they have to be promoted.
Right.
So rather than have a system that pays based on how good you are in your position, so if you want to stay in that position, you can. The classic example is that the place I used to work at, we had a lady who was perfectly happy in the role that she was in, and she was very good at it.
Right.
Gave her enough of a challenge, and she enjoyed it, and she was very good. And she wasn't interested in management. That was the next stage up. So for her particular situation, a better way forward would be an incremental pay rise based on her ability and her years of service.
Right.
Which was lacking. It was a constant move forward and promotion all the time.
So that's ability for somebody to maximise their potential within what they're doing, rather than feeling like they've got to climb a ladder.
Exactly, a climb a ladder they don't necessarily want to climb, because this particular person wasn't interested in management, wouldn't be any good in management. It's not their style. So, corporate structures always annoy me, because they're limited in their. They don't view people as workers and people. They're viewed as resources. They're moved according to.
So, corporate business is not for you then.
Nah.
It's not your cup. Of,
Not my cup of tea.
Not your cup of tea. And has there been times where it's really not been your cup of tea? If you, I'm trying to sort of.
Because again, any sign of individualism gets knocked on the head. Any sign of, you
turning up to work in a red satin.
It's red satin shirt. I didn't like that.
I didn't like it.
Not at all.
Well, you were working in a funeral parlour at the time.
So, and that's the problem with corporate. I suppose any corporate, until you get to a certain stage in corporate, it's very. They don't consider the individual really. They don't consider the individual worker. They spend so much time trying to consider the individual customer. They forget about the individual staff members.
Right. And it doesn't really lead to a happy place of work either, does it? If you feel like you've got nowhere to go.
I don't think so. I don't think so.
So that's your sort of main irritant.
Main work irritant. Yeah.
Over. Right. So, well, okay. Where would you like to go next? What's one of your
Well, the weather's always annoying, isn't it?
Is it?
Yeah, because
is that your fly car?
Yesterday was fine.
Yeah.
It's fairly mild. We know it's winter. We accept it's winter. But don't go, right, I'm fairly mild, now I'm Arctic.
Yeah.
What's that all about?
Well, fly car.
Fly car. It's irritating.
Yeah.
No, can't get out the go. And I don't know. Why? Is it only cars in this country that can't open when it's cold? How do they open their cars in Canada?
I don't know. Actually.
It's like there. It's colder. It's like minus. I was watching a YouTube video the other day. Bloke was camping and it was minus 30.
Yeah.
He opened his car all right.
I don't know.
What's different?
That's a very good question.
What is the difference?
I don't know, and that might be something to look into.
Yeah.
Because I don't think they have heated door things.
I wouldn't have thought so to keep the doors from freezing.
Or perhaps they must all have the rubber.
Well, you'd think so for when it rains. But yeah, the rubber. That's what I think happens.
Canada.
The rubber seemed to freeze, or any sort of moisture on the rubber froze to itself.
And there's always that panic that when you do get the door open, that you're going to
partially open, or you're going to break the handle.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's happened. My door's broken, and I think, well, we'll see.
Fly car.
I'll see if it's defrosted completely and if it's all right now. I don't know.
So the weather. I mean, is that one of your main irritants?
I think. See, I kind of often thought I liked the weather over here because it's always fairly central.
Yeah.
A little bit warm, a little bit cold, but with the obvious climate change, things like now, it's the extremes now. We seem to jump from too hot to too cold, which I don't. Maybe we did, and a couple of times. I don't recall that being the case when I was younger. I don't recall going from super hot to super cold within a couple of weeks.
No.
It always seemed to be mild.
Yeah, I remember 76. Was
76 we had the big. But we all remember 76.
Sam doesn't. Do you remember 76?
I was born 76.
Oh, actually, was it 76 or 77? Because it was a Jubilee year.
I was living in Leicester, and I was 5, 6 when I was.
Oh, that's when all the playground. My playground melted. The tarmac on the playground went. It was like one of those fun houses.
Yeah. I do remember it was super hot, and we had a greenfly infestation as well where we were. Did you have that?
I don't think so.
Yeah, like 2 days of just like literally covering the whole windows with greenfly.
Oh.
Couldn't go out.
Wonder why.
Don't know.
Did they all go, it's hot, let's go? Is that what happened?
All right, lads, it's hot. Let's go. That's my favourite thing. It's hot. That's what. Yeah, I'm going to go with yes. That's exactly what they did. Yeah, it's hot. It's hot. Let's go. Yeah, so the greenfly, and they were irritating. I mean, it's not about what I find annoying, but they were super irritating. In your teeth. Everywhere.
Everywhere. My teeth.
They were going. Just my teeth and my nose. They were everywhere.
No, I don't recall the greenfly. I just recall the playground getting all.
I remember that. It was super hot. But then it was super hot and then slightly warm. It didn't go crazy cold.
It just seems maybe it's to do with age getting older, but it just feels like things go from extremes really quickly now, which is, it's difficult to plan anything. We used to be able to plan these. What's the weather going to be like? It'll be all right. That's what you used to, it'll be all right.
Yeah.
But now it's, what's the weather going to be like? Well, I don't know. It could be minus 20. It could be plus 190.
Yeah. Well, that's true.
So that's a little bit irritating.
Yeah.
Not being able to plan.
All right. And what about then going out? Doing your going out thing, does that affect? Is that the irritating thing about going out, or have you got?
No, I think it's the planning of things, like planning your barbecues, planning your stuff in the garden. That's what going out. Why is it? People, they go out and they would take an umbrella just in case it rains.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't see anybody going out carrying a swimsuit in case it's hot.
That is true, but is that because they're not going swimming? That's
Well, say swimsuit or summer wear, like a pair of shorts. They don't take a pair of shorts with them in case it's sunny. Nobody takes anything with them in case it's sunny, but they always take things in case it's raining.
Do you know, I'm gonna disagree.
Okay.
But I come from a long line of
Just
people.
in cases.
Just in cases. That's it, exactly.
Just in cases.
Just in cases.
Wasn't he in one of those?
Yeah.
Justin, what was he in?
A boy band.
Oh, yeah, he might have been a boy band.
Just in
Or an
cases.
action hero. Just in cases. Yeah.
Doesn't turn up all the time.
No. Just.
Thank goodness you're here, Justin. Yeah, well, I came just in cases.
Just in cases. Or in cases.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Just in cases.
Yes, just in. Or it could be a line of cases.
Well, yeah.
Luggage company.
But
Try our new just in cases.
yeah. Everything you want, just in cases.
Yeah, with a little pocket for everything.
Yeah.
Just in cases.
Can I have that in
we
the
say
bag?
it again?
No, it's got to go in a case.
Just in.
Just in a case.
Only just.
Only just. That's
yeah.
Well, that's different.
Well,
Is it in? Just.
Only just. Yeah. Or it's a short bag where stuff might fall
Oh,
out.
it doesn't quite fit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we could do that. But yeah, so a long line of just in cases. People who are prepared.
You what?
Sunny
Prepared for the
weather.
heat?
Did you never take sun lotion out for your kids just in case?
Only when it was
super
sunny. But you wouldn't go out when it was raining and go, don't forget the sun cream, or do you? We never did.
hot? Well, you might do if it was raining, but the forecast was that it was going to go super hot.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's the just in cases.
Yeah,
Have you
people will
not-
take an umbrella, whether it's forecast to rain or not. They'll.
Oh yeah,
My dad
but
used to
they're
have an
weird
umbrella with him
people.
all the time.
Yeah,
What do you take your body for? Just in case.
it is. Yeah,
It rains.
but that's over prepared. That's weird people. I just
know.
called your dad weird, but
Yeah.
that's weird people.
That's okay. He is.
I wouldn't take a body with me everywhere.
No, I
Only
wouldn't.
if I thought it might rain.
In my car,
Uh-huh.
in the door, there's a slot for a brolly.
Right.
I think the Rolls Royce have got their own brolly in the
Right.
door. You push a button, it pops
So you've
out.
got an actual brolly slot.
Yeah. No brolly, just a slot for it. Okay. So
Alright.
it's gone sort of half posh. So
Yeah.
the Rolls Royce, you get a Rolls Royce brolly with it. You push a button. It's a great idea, but what happens with the brolly when you've used it? It goes in.
Uh-huh.
Does it go in wet? Does it drain in there?
I
Does
don't
it
know.
stay
Is there
wet?
not a draining hole?
Might be,
Have you not got a draining hole in your brolly slot?
possibly.
I don't know. I didn't even know there was a brolly slot. But I suppose that makes sense. So as you're getting out the car,
Yeah.
so it's
Not all cars, but
Ready to
my
go.
car's got one. Yeah, I suppose when you finish, you put it in, get in. You haven't got to put your wet brolly in the car, maybe.
yeah, it could be.
It's quite a good idea.
But I suppose if you've got a roller, you might have a.
But you've got to take your brolly with you all the time, or you leave it in the car. So does your brolly stay in the car?
Well, that's your car brolly.
Yeah, you need another brolly.
I presume is that in the front driver's side?
Yeah.
See, in a Rolls Royce, I would say that's for whoever's driving the person, so they can get out,
Yeah,
and
it's in the driver's side anyway. Yeah.
take them away. I don't know. So,
A
Well,
brolly
there's-
seems to be the go-to just in case item, doesn't it?
I suppose it is.
Is there
I
a
don't
hot
like
weather?
brollies.
Is there a
I
hot
find
weather version?
brollies
of that?
irritating.
Do you? Oh, do you?
Yeah, yeah. I don't like walking with them. I find that irritating.
Yeah.
I don't like being near people with them.
Yeah.
Yeah, getting prodded in the eye.
People
I
with
don't
massive
like-
brollies,
Yeah, they're good 'cause you can
unnecessarily
get
large.
Two people under them, but,
But
I
there's
don't
only
like
one
'em.
person under them, and
Yeah.
they're taking up the whole pavement.
Irritating.
Might as
So
well
that's
walk with a
one of my
marquee
Get
on.
Shirty.
Walk with a gazebo or something.
I can see it happening. You could have put that over your fly car.
I don't think it would it'd still be cold though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but covered. Okay, so irritating weather.
Yeah, I think now for me it's the extremes.
Okay,
Because
so is this your top irritant? I mean, we're
It's
not
one of
talking
them.
about stuff that makes you super angry.
Oh, that doesn't
I'm talking
make sense.
about
It's just a
irritating.
It's a mild irritant.
It's get
Yeah,
shirty.
I like my weather to be. I like the heat.
Right.
I don't mind the super heat, but I just like my weather to be fairly middling,
All right.
middle of the
Average.
road. Yeah, not too warm. Yeah.
Right, so anything that's not out. So is it the weather itself that's irritating, or the lack of being prepared?
The
for the weather?
unpredictability.
Let's get shirty. Let's get shirty. So, weather.
Yeah.
Irritating.
A little bit.
That was work, lack of corporate structure, and lack of
Well, lack of
being
thinking about
able
the
to
staff individual.
So that's work covered. That's your sort of going out covered. What about home? You know, what's irritating at home? Now, bear in mind. Yeah.
Unnecessary noise.
Right. See, I knew you were going to say it.
Oh, we said it before.
Yeah.
Unnecessary noise. Do I have to come up with something else then?
No, but
Sorry,
you can.
sorry.
can do.
Harry's going to see this.
Harry's going to see it.
He is going to edit it, so it'll be all right.
How is it?
Well, it happened again last night. I was watching the telly. Yeah.
Well, explain. Well, if you want to explain. So, I mean, because I know you, obviously, I know.
We've got an open plan house. So, kitchen is right on the. Well, you know what open plan is. Don't need to explain to you. And in case you didn't understand the concept. So yeah, anything that happens in the kitchen is quite noisy. Anyway, so in my head, if I'm in the kitchen, there's people in the front room watching telly doing stuff. In my head, I go, well, it's the kitchen. It's going to be noisy anyway. I'll be extra quiet because whatever I do is going to be noisy. But it doesn't seem to work it works the other way around with the rest of the people in the house. It's like, well, I'm in the kitchen, it's noisy anyway, so I'll be extra noisy.
Just to be heard.
Yeah, to be heard. Yeah.
Make sure.
I think the remote control is connected to the noise in the house. Because when you pause, it goes really quiet. When you push play, it's really loud and noisy, the rest of the house. It's weird.
So is this just when you're watching television? I mean, is it just television? Or do you find it irritating?
Music, television. I'd imagine other people suffer with it, but I don't know.
Right.
I don't know if other people feel the same when they're watching telly. Some people watch a telly, they put the subtitles on.
Yeah.
Because of that.
Yeah.
But,
one of my ex-grandfather-in-laws, he got round this problem by, if he was watching something and there was external noise going on, he would do this.
Funnel the sound into his ears.
While he was watching telly, he'd do that. He'd sit forward and sit like that. So have you thought of deploying the
flaps?
Meat sails. That's what these are.
Meat sails?
Yeah, ears. Meat sails. That was the chair. Yeah, meat sails. Ears. Anyway, have you thought about deploying some sort of muffling ear trumpet system?
Yeah.
Oh, that works quite well, actually.
Dumbo system. Well, it stops all the noise behind,
Yeah.
or reduces the noise from behind.
Yeah. So,
or directional. I haven't.
Most of thought.
So but
is it specifically when you're trying to do things? Do you mind noise around the rest of the?
I don't mind noise. I mean, I'm a noisy person myself in terms of listening to loud music.
Stair stompers.
Yes, I don't mind all of that stuff because when you're living in any sort of communal environment, you're going to have noise, and I don't mind road noise. It's unnecessary noise.
Yeah.
I know I get irritated by the constant woo-wahs going past down here all the time.
Yeah,
I
they
think
are
that's
woo-wahs.
unnecessary all the time. But that's just life. It's that sort of like people talking really loud but they're only about 2 feet away from you.
Yeah.
It's a blah 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 blah. It's all right. So it's that unnecessary noise. Like my dad goes blah blah. So Dad, I'm not deaf. You are.
Yeah.
Things like that. And I suppose it's particularly annoying when you want to try and watch something, listen to something. I mean, how many times, it must have happened to you, you're talking to someone, and you say, oh, this is a great song, have a listen to this song. And they go, all right then. As soon as you push play, you blah, 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 blah.
But do you think that's born out of an awkwardness about having to stand and listen to something while somebody's watching you listen to it?
Maybe, but then it would be better to say, rather than say yes, I'll listen to it, say I'll have a listen to that. What song is it?
Later.
I'll listen to it.
Yeah.
And say yes, and then talk.
Yeah.
Because you're not listening to it.
See,
but yeah, you could be right. It's that awkwardness of.
I do know what you mean though. For me, it's like I get irritated by the lack of paying attention. It's not the noise that's going on around me so much. It's if I've said to somebody, like you say, listen to this or watch that. It's that not giving it attention. I find that irritating. That's an irritant for me because it's like I'm trying to tell you something I'm interested in, and you're not showing it any interest, and then I get irritated.
I think these are common irritants. I would say, I would say unnecessary noise is a common irritant of most people when you're trying to watch something and people are making noise.
Yeah, it's the kettle in our house.
Seem to make more. It's
loud.
It's a cutlery in our house, and there are certain people in our house who are just noisy when they do anything. I have to say to them, are they remodelling the house whilst they're doing that?
Yeah. See, I say if someone's talking loudly, it's and who are you telling that, or did next door need to
know
that?
Yeah. Up the road.
And why are you telling next door and not just me? Or people on the phone. That's one.
Blah, blah, blah,
even
blah,
though they're
blah.
on the phone, they're talking as I'm a loud phone talker, but they're talking as if the person isn't just on the other end of the phone.
They're at the end of the street.
You like that, just in case you didn't know.
I was up with those. I thought it was like devil horns. I thought you were being all rock and roll.
And you meant to do that now, aren't you?
And if they're going to talk like that, why do they hold it so far away that they feel they need to shout at it? Just hold it closer.
I don't know. I think, as well, just as a quick, a little side note, how do you feel about actually this being done as a 3-person thing with an off person?
Well, you could.
Like an irritating, an agreeer or a disagreeer.
You could, that would be good. You could even develop the Mr. Unknown Hemming
that's a good idea.
off screen.
Yeah.
Never being heard, or you say something and they answer. It could be Sam or whoever answers, but they could be the Hemming, and you go, "Oh, is that so? Oh, do you agree with that?" Oh, they're
Mr.
nodding.
Hemming.
They're nodding.
Hemming, yeah. Perhaps we could have an honorary Hemming if somebody else comes along. They're the Hemming as well. Anyway, it's just a thought. In 3 Bean Salad, when they talk about the podcast within the podcast, they call that
Podception.
Yeah, no, that's pretty good though. No, they call that. It doesn't really matter actually, does it? Who was the designer who designed a building where you can see all the internal workings of the building as you go in? Pompidou. The Pompidou building.
The Pompidou building in France.
Yeah. They call that the Pompidou section because you can see the inner workings of the podcast.
Very clever. Yeah. They're very clever, those people.
Not as clever as us.
Maybe. So unnecessary noise. We say when you get ambulances driving down a road where there's no traffic and they're still blaring their 2 tones. Who's that for? There's nobody around.
It's for them.
Middle of the night. There's nobody there.
Do that again. That's beautiful.
But a guy on the ambulance service, first day out he was, all excited. He was with me, training him.
You were equally as excited.
Which was bad news for him. I'd been on the job for a little while. And we got a job, cardiac arrest I think it was. Oh right, I said, okay. He was attending, he was driving. He said, can I drive? Yeah, you can drive. Took down the call, the driver takes down the call, took down the call, jumped out, ran into the garage, jumped in the vehicle, started it up. Sirens, 2 tones. Woo, woo, woo. So I said to him, are you going to open the door? So we were sitting in the garage with the door shut, just going, woo, 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 woo. You guys, how loud that was.
Which you loved.
I did.
Especially as you were watching a film at the time.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, sat in the vehicle like that. Said, are you going to open the door then? Because it's on the driver's side. You go, push a button, get in, go. We just sat
See,
Noise.
was that an irritating job?
For different reasons.
All right.
Yes, it was.
All right.
Abuse from management, abuse from customers or patients.
Right.
Patients, as they like to be known.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a thankless task, really. But then I think you know that when you join. So that wasn't the irritating part of it. I suppose it was more the management side that was irritating.
So is that
politics?
where your earlier irritant
Yeah.
stems from? Was that the seed of
Management. It could be.
your management?
Marriage.
Was that the seed of your marriage?
You better be Peter Cook then, didn't you? Marriage.
Marriage. Yeah. So was that, or is it before that? Yeah. Would you say that's the first place it?
Probably not, because I started out in Sainsbury's.
All right.
And that wasn't really good management. But I'd started the trainee management program.
All right.
And then left. But, I did meet two of my oldest friends there, which I still know. So had some good things come out of it.
Well, I think that's the thing with, most things that really, really, really make you fed up or pissed off or whatever generally come from bigger. They're more important. Irritating things are probably more from people who you actually don't get cross with. People who are more important, because then it is just about the irritating things.
It's about putting up. We all have to put up with irritants because we've all got to get along.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah. Unnecessary noise just irritates me a little bit. Not enough to get angry, but it's enough to promote that sarcastic tone. Right. I think that's the hallmark of an irritant, is that it can promote a rebuke, but not a rage.
So
it's enough to go, do you want to throw that stuff around any harder, or are you redecorating out there? So, you're knocking a wall down. It's that kind of irritant.
I think what we might have to do each week, I think you've just born something there, is get the person who is talking about the things that make them shirty to do their definition of what's irritating.
An irritant, yeah.
Because you've just sort of summed that up quite well.
That's my definition. Yeah, it's enough to be sarcastic or a rebuke, but not enough for full blown rage.
Yeah.
I was
low level irritant.
Yeah, I was punched in the face on the ambulance service by a customer. That's more than irritating.
Yeah.
That provoked a rage.
Yeah. And why did they punch you in the face?
He was drunk.
Oh, right.
Decided
you weren't being irritated.
No, he was just drunk, and he decided to punch me in the face.
All right.
So that sparked a fight.
Yeah. Well,
just slightly more than an irritant.
Yes. Yeah. But having the blues and twos, or the woo-wahs, what did you call them?
The woo-wahs.
The
unnecessary woo-wahs.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Hacking down the road. We get a lot actually on the job as well. To be hacking down, and it's exciting. I get it because it's exciting to do.
Okay.
But just have the lights going. You don't need to. I used to have people on the ambulance service actually say, who'd been on the job a long time, say, "Oh yeah, 3 o'clock in the morning, I'm up, so everybody's up." Woo, woo. That's not nice.
No, that's really not. It's really not. Mind you, I can sleep through most things, so I might be.
Well, they're quite comfortable. The beds in the back, so I imagine you would.
Have I been? Yes, I have been in the back of an ambulance, just the once, actually, and that was because
your brakes didn't work. That's when your brakes didn't work and you went in the back of an ambulance.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey.
I did a Jerry Lewis.
What, disorderly at the back?
Yeah, out the back. No, and that was EpiPen. I'd sit in the back instead of going to. I think that's the only time. Yeah. Except for when one came to school and they drove us around the.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had to go in an ambulance. Have you, Mr. Hemming? Have you been in an ambulance?
No, I haven't.
No.
I don't think I have as a patient.
Yeah, just the once, I think. Only just that once.
Yeah, EpiPen, same as diabetics. If you use your glucagon, if you use it, you really should go to hospital.
Yeah, well, I didn't have to use it, but I was close to using it. I'd already seen the rapid responder through almost death. But anyway, that's a story for another time. So I think we're just about to hit the sort of 40-minute mark, which is probably enough. There'll be a bit of shirt waffle before, but to sort of sum it up, I reckon we could do. I'm going to ask you a couple of questions, and then we'll maybe look at going one way or the other with these. One is, if you were, so we've had all your rages, all your irritants, shirt choice, not being able to find what you want. We've had work, corporate structures, and not thinking about the workers. We've had unnecessary noise at home when you're trying to watch something or do something, music, TV, film.
Yeah, mainly music or TV.
And we've had the weather as being, or perhaps being unprepared for the weather.
The extremes.
So which one of those is most likely to go from irritant to full rage? Which one would push you over the edge?
Probably the unnecessary noise.
Okay. So is that really that's the one?
I think
not corporate injustice.
Well, no, so I'm not in corporate anymore.
Clanging cutlery.
That's the one.
So that's the one that you'd promote to full rage.
Because I suppose corporate injustice, I've pulled away from the corporate now, so I have no dealings with it.
Right. Okay.
And it's not an injustice that's really a fight worth fighting for unless you're in it.
Yeah.
Unlike
true.
human rights, for example, which we should all fight for.
Yeah.
Okay,
that's true.
So I think the one that I have to live with, because
Yeah.
I think if you live in a communal space, you live with a family, or you live anywhere in the city, unless you live in isolation, you have to put up with things like not unnecessary noise. You have to put up with it. And I suppose that's the one thing, if it got too bad, could annoy you.
Okay. So, and what's the one, if we could solve it for you? That was going to be my other question. Or which one could you be convinced to just let go, and it's no longer going to irritate you after today?
I suppose the same one.
Right.
For us to be practical about it, should be the same one, because it's the one that's most irritating. Therefore, that's the one I should let go and not have it irritate me.
So, to go with your shirt, then, what we need to really do is make you some sort of earmuffs.
A soundproof shirt.
A soundproof shirt.
High collar that comes up past me.
Oh, nice, the Harry Hill style.
Yeah, and then it can act as your meat muffins, no? What are they called?
Meat sails.
Meat sails. Meat flaps. That's something else, Mr. Hemming.
No, I call them not my meat flaps.
Mr. Hemming. Hemming.
Really Hemming. Yeah, because they're quite big, they sort of have the potential to direct me in the wind, like a sail.
Oh, I see.
And they're made of meat. Human meat. Anyway, that's just me. So, a high-necked, a high-collared, muffled shirt.
Yeah, high-collared, soundproof shirt.
Yeah, which
extraneous soundproof.
Yeah, I like it. Well, perhaps we could make you a collar that would go over the top of your normal collar.
I think if it's that big, it'll be over the top.
Yeah. Yeah, well over the top. Well, I think that's your problem solved then.
Yeah, I think so.
That's so, Mr. Wilson, Stuart, thank you very much for coming to work today so that we could film this today at work and
it's been my pleasure.
I hope, and we'll take when your shirt's done, we'll get a few pictures and we'll put them up with your podcast.
Yeah, nice.
People to look at. Thanks for coming along.
Thank you.
So there you have it, the pilot episode. I don't think it's changed too much, really, has it? You can really kind of see where the bare bones, what everything's been built on, and it was a really good grin to do in the first place because we didn't know what to expect. But I think it worked out really well. So that was the pilot episode. Join us again for season 2. Who knows how long season 2 is going to be? But we can't wait to get going, and we really hope you enjoyed this bonus episode. Until we speak next time, do try not to get too shirty.